welcome into the DNVR Rockies podcast, brought to you, as always, by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app now and use promo code DNVR when you sign up. Welcome in to a Monday morning edition of your favorite Rockies podcast. I am Susie Hunter, joined by Christian Saez. It's a Suze and Saez show. Let's freaking go! Bam, 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 bam.
Can we get those sounds rolling up in here? Just wake everyone up here on this. There we go. Nice. Love
We're
it.
having a morning of technical difficulties. Our Wi-Fi
The whole
isn't
world
working
is.
right.
Yeah.
Twitter is maybe dead.
Yeah,
possibly
Marissa might not
forever.
have a job today. It's cool. It's all right.
We're like, okay, so what do we do after this if we have no social media? Like, do we get Margs after this? Do we go get some Brex?
Like it's like one of those like, what do I do with my hands type of thing, you know? Like,
I don't know what to do with my
My phone
hands.
isn't working. Yeah.
If I'm not on Twitter.
Who knows?
What a weekend for the Rockies.
Yeah.
What a weekend. Not only did they sign one guy, they signed two guys. I did not have that on my 2023 Rockies bingo card.
No, probably not. And, but I like that they're making moves. I mean, this is what spring training's all about. I talked about it last week with Patrick and, just saying that the Rockies this is an opportunity for them to kind of see what's working, see what's not, and adjust to that. And so they're making adjustments. And, I like that they're making moves.
Quick side. Hi, I'm first day back in the studio after a week. I'm like hitting the microphone. Okay, I want a quick sidebar. So when we host a show together, it's the Suze and Saez show. Did you and Patrick have a nickname for your show?
Oh,
geez.
geez.
You're not there yet?
We're not there yet. We're not on that level yet. It was just a first show for us. So we'll wait till the second and third show, and that's when we'll really start getting, down to labels.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Although we did label our show on the first show, I think. So
we did.
The chemistry might have been just a little different
We're
there.
besties.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hopefully the Rockies and Brad Hand, the left-handed reliever, hopefully they are besties very quickly because that was the big news that came out on Saturday. The Rockies signed Brad Hand to a 1-year contract, covers the whole 2023 season. He's getting $1 million.
Yeah, and he's got options too. If he signs with them next year, he's got potential extension options and club options with that. So he's got money on the table, incentives if he, is doing well. And for me, it's a veteran guy you're bringing in that has had some experience. He did well in the postseason with the Phillies. He's had some good outings on the mound in his tenure. He's been with a lot of different teams too, so he does have this experience of kind of jumping around. So I think for the Rockies, the upside is you get a guy that knows what he's doing and can go out there and kind of bring some of these younger guys who are potentially going to be adding depth to the lineup. Hopefully he can kind of set the tone for them. And hopefully, he ends up being a good $2 million signing.
Oh yeah,
from
the $2 million man over here. I mean, he's someone that, he was with the Phillies last year. So especially in that postseason, I was paying a lot of attention to him. And this is a guy who knows what it takes to make it almost as far as you possibly can in the postseason. That's just a different mentality that I'm excited to see our younger pitchers just be around.
Yeah.
But we do have some sound from him. Alyssa, do we have that loaded? It's a question today. I'm like, do we have it?
Is it working?
Because some of the stuff I uploaded just does not exist anymore. We're having a Monday. But yeah, Brad Hand, here's what he had to say about his new home with the Colorado Rockies.
You don't know where your career is going to end up or where you're gonna go, but I was in San Diego for 2.5 years, so I've pitched there quite a bit. So I'm comfortable with the ballpark and everything like that. You never know what's going to happen when you go into free agency. You never know, what the teams are looking for, or what they want, or how much space they have on their team. So I've been through it the past 3 years. So this year I was kind of just relaxing, just preparing for the season as I was in spring training at home. I had a great facility in South Florida where I was able to throw live BPs, just treating it like a spring training. So. It's difficult. I mean, obviously you want a normal spring training. You want to, especially with a new team, you'd like to come in and meet all the new faces. It takes a while to get used to all your surroundings and stuff like that. But, I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to get things started.
The crazy thing is, too, so when they signed him on Saturday, at that point, he was probably one of the best relievers still on the market. So it was kind of shocking that he even was still on the market. So it's nice to see him finding a home with the Colorado Rockies. Also nice to see that he's been doing his own spring training at his home in Florida.
Yes. Yeah. And being able to put in the work, I think my biggest takeaway, at least from what he was saying there, was like, you never know, you just don't know. And as you start getting deeper into your career, you really have to live into this idea of like, you never know what your next step is going to be. You never know what your next team is going to be. So you just have to keep being prepared. And it sounds like, at least from just, hearing those sound bites there, like he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's prepared. He's no stranger to the fact that he's on the latter half of his career. And he's also no stranger to the fact that the Rockies are going to need some work this year. So I think for him to have that mindset going into it that like, hey, this is going to be a work in progress, but we're all going to be, just kind of working through this together. That's a good start for him.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing his stuff at altitude because he's got a little experience with it. He's played in the NL West before, but doing it every day, we know, is a totally different animal. Yeah,
it is, and it's an adjustment period no matter what. He said that, it's an adjustment period to get used to being with a new team, a new program, new coaches, new staff, new ballpark that you're pitching in, and so all of these transitions that he's going to be going through, the good thing that I can think of for him right now is that he's been through this before, whether it's with other teams or not. He's done all of these type of transitions a lot. It's just an opportunity for him to continue his career and make some money and potentially win some games.
Yes. All right. Speaking of guys who've been there, guys who have that World Series experience, Mike Moustakas also had joined the Rocks fam on Sunday. So, yeah, infielder, he will probably take that spot that Brendan Rodgers has left open with his injury. But what a get.
Yeah, this is another one of those big name gets. He's at the latter half of his career as well, but he's got that veteran experience that I talked about just a second ago with Brad Hand, where I can sit there and say, you know what, maybe his play isn't exactly where you want him to be. But for the Rockies right now, they're getting a lot of young guys. I know Patrick was saying last week too that the prospects for the Rockies are very promising. The future of the Rockies is potentially really bright. So I'm not fully against saying, hey, let's bring some veteran guys in, get these young guys a chance to see and experience what it's like to play at a level with some guys who have been there and done that, and to, kind of see what that's like. And Mike Moustakas, he's been there, he's done that. He won a World Series with the Royals in 2015. He was a part of that very successful Royals team. He made it to an All-Star. He was on the All-Star team that year as well. He's hit some very high-level moments in his career. 200 home runs. He hit his 200th career home run just last year. So he's a guy that has experience getting to where he wants to be in his career, getting to a lot of success in his career, and I'm hoping he just uses that leadership to bring some of these young guys up.
Yeah, well said, Christian.
Thank you.
Well
I practiced that in the car over here.
He didn't, I promise.
No, not at all. All off the hip.
But yeah, super shocking to see. The Rockies don't sign a ton of dudes all the time. So to get 2 in one weekend, what a treat.
Yeah, we were just talking to our buddies with the Avalanche here at DNVR, and they were talking about the dynamics between the Avs and the trade deadline and how they didn't make any moves. And I was saying, hey, the Rockies kind of relate to that. Like this whole offseason, we've just been like kind of poking them, like, hey, do something. Like, are we gonna do anything here? And I think that's been the hardest part, is that it's like, it's hard to trust an owner or a manager who says, hey, we're just not gonna do anything. That might be the right decision. It's just hard as a fan and as someone in the media to look at that and say, how do you break that down? What can you even say about that? So for them to be making some moves, especially in spring training, an opportunity for them to kind of make something out of spring training, especially when they're losing guys like they have been to injury, that's a good sign. I like that.
Yeah. This weekend itself, so big. Also, Saturday's game, so much fun. 7-1 win for the Rockies. Yeah. But the crazy part was all of the stolen bases. Zach Veen stole 3 bases in that game, 2 back-to-back.
Yeah.
And that's a part of his game. It was so fun to watch. And right now, we'll get into this probably in a little bit, but Zach Veen, so he has 7 stolen bases right now in spring training.
Okay.
He has more or as many stolen bases than 14 major league teams at this point in the spring. So combined.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is. It's something you don't see very much, too, at this level. I mean, I love, you see it a lot of times in younger teams, high school, college, especially, guys who maybe don't have the power to make it deeper into the lineup, but they're going to get out there and they're going to get on base and they're going to, and they're going to get themselves in scoring position. You don't see it as much at the higher levels. And so seeing a guy that comes out there and can play well beyond just his ability to steal bases, but then also goes and plays a little bit of small ball and makes the pitchers think, I as a young baseball fan, I just love that. I love to see that. And I love to see it in spring training, seeing him get some confidence under him, seeing him working on those jumps that he was talking about as well. Some of those jumps in that game were just incredible, where you're just like, man, before the pitcher even lifted his leg, he was going, and that's really cool to see.
And I know Buddy is definitely keeping an eye on him. We will hear from him probably tomorrow on the topic of Zach Veen and what he thinks of his time at spring training. But you know what? First, let's get a little housekeeping out of the way. Let's talk about how great things are here at the DNVR bar. Let me clear my throat so we're ready for this. You're a diehard member, of course.
Of course.
Of
yes,
course.
yes.
Of course. You're a diehard fan. But if you are not a diehard already, you're missing out on 15% off of your tab at the DNVR bar. You're missing out on 20% off of everything at DNVRlocker.com. And we have the best merch in the game. You are missing out on getting those extra raffle tickets to win even more free merch at all of our watch parties. You're missing out on getting a free shirt just every year. We're like giving away so many shirts. This is kind of insane. You're missing out on 20% off of Broncos tailgates, Nuggets party buses. And of course, we have a really fun DNVR Rockies takeover coming up in April. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, you can fix this if you're not already a diehard. Head to thednvr.com and sign up today. All right. Are you a baseball bettor? I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah. I dabble.
You dabble.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this is like, there's so many great bets for baseball season, so many random things you can get into. But yeah, if you head to DraftKings Sportsbook, if you head to that app, you can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly if you win. You can also use that for the NBA. The NBA is very in season right now. You can get in on those no sweat same game parlays. Spring training games are live too. They're listed under MLB preseason. You can bet on league winners. You can bet on division winners, individual end of year award winners, over unders for all 30 teams. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DNVR, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly, only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code DNVR. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Whew. All right.
Nice. Breathe.
Whew.
Take a breath. We're doing good.
We're having a morning.
Right.
Let's talk about the other big event on Saturday. We had Kyle Freeland pitching. We had Herman Marquez pitching.
Brought out the big guns.
Daniel Bard pitching. Basically all the dudes who are participating in the WBC. Just get him out of the way right now. So for Marquez, it was his first start. He is feeling so much better. He said after his outing, he said after his outing that he didn't even remember that his hamstring had been strained.
That's good.
Didn't even feel the leg. So that's a great sign.
Yeah.
So he could still be in the mix for the second round if Venezuela makes it that far.
Yeah.
He could still be in the mix. He's not totally out of it yet, but he got that first start in. Kyle Freeland got his second start. He went 3 innings.
Yeah.
And we'd love to see that.
You got to, and when you're getting ready for a baseball tournament like the WBC, you've got to get guys on a quicker track than you would normally. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that he pitched a few innings. Mm-hmm. I do really like the WBC on years that we have the WBC and you've got players from the WBC on your team, specifically pitchers, because you just get into that mode so much quicker. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you want to be careful. You do not want to overdo it. You don't want to, go so fast that you get hurt. But if you're taking care of yourself, I feel like it's a good opportunity to get these guys into game-ready mode a lot faster than you would if you didn't have that. So I think a lot of times, you see guys being a little hesitant when they go into spring training, wanting to take it slow, make sure they don't get hurt. And sometimes that doesn't work out and you're not really in game mode when it comes to the regular season. So I think that's a good opportunity for Kyle Freeland. And, and he had a good look for three innings.
Kyle Freeland looks like he's in game mode.
Yeah.
He looks ready. He's got that, like...
He's a competitor.
He's got that intensity. I've been doing this a lot. I started ironically, now it's unironically.
Yes.
So I was making fun of Andre.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to
How
say,
Italian
like, you're going
he
to, get some pasta after this. Yeah.
Ooh,
It's good.
actually.
That sounds great.
We talked to Kyle Freeland after that start on Saturday. Alyssa, do we have that clip? We do. All right. So this is what Kyle Freeland had to say about his 3-inning start on Saturday, and how the pitch clock will affect how he pitches in the WBC. Check it out. Second outing of spring training. How are you feeling?
Feel good. Got another 3 innings under my belt. Worked on some things that we want to work on in between last outing and this outing. Put it to work in this outing and felt good about it. A few more things got to tweak, but still early, but got to be ready for something coming up.
When you're in the World Baseball Classic, will you kind of try to adhere to the timing that goes along with this new pitch clock?
Probably not so much, no. It's going to be something that's out of sight, out of mind for me. We're not going to be having a pitch clock in the WBC, so I won't worry about it. I got 2 outings here with it. Feel comfortable with it, especially after the second one. So whenever the World WBC is done for us, obviously I'll be back with the team and hopefully get an outing or 2 again, and get comfortable with the pitch clock. Hopefully it's just one outing at the end, in between the championship game and us breaking camp. But yeah, whether it's one outing or 2 short outings, whatever it may be, I'll be fine with getting back comfortable with the pitch clock, just because I was able to do it twice already this spring training. It's in my mind, know what I need to do, got comfortable with it, and it'll be easy to get back to.
I love the confidence of Kyle Freeland. He's just like, yeah, I've done it. It's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
It's like brand new thing that everyone's trying to get used to. Like, he's like, I can just do it one more time, and I get it.
Yeah, and I do think he's got the right mindset of being kind of like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it when I go to the WBC, because there is no pitch clock. So I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to go out there and pitch the way that I have. I think the pitch clock is new enough that these pitchers haven't fully gotten used to it. So I'm not against him not practicing it, while he's at the WBC. He's got 162 games this year at least to practice the pitch clock, in a real setting. So I think it's fine. Go to the WBC, pitch the way you're used to, try to get your Team USA a championship, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited to see him in the mix.
Yeah.
Excited to see he'll get to take his time up there.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah, and I do think you're going to get some looks at guys who are also in game mode, and it's just I'm saying this over and over because I'm so excited about seeing the WBC, in the sense that some of these guys are going to get some experience in ways that they wouldn't be getting in spring training. So, I'm glad there's no pitch clock there. I'm glad you're kind of just sticking to the traditional rules. And that's not to say that I don't necessarily like the pitch clock either. It's just, I think the WBC is something completely different within itself. And so it gives these pitchers a chance to kind of get that out of their mind, just go out there, have fun, enjoy playing against some really cool teams.
Yeah, we had asked Buddy about this sometime within the past couple of days, if he thought that the WBC should be using the pitch clock because Major League Baseball has just started using the pitch clock. And he was like, no. Because the rest of the world, that's just they're not doing the pitch clock.
No.
So it's just, it's too different. It would be too much. It sounds like a logistical nightmare.
It does. And I also just think it's not worth it. Major League Baseball has 162 plus, games throughout the season. You've got a long season where it behooves the MLB to say, hey, you know what? It's worth it for us to make it a little bit quicker so people aren't sitting through 5-hour games.
Yeah.
The WBC is 1 month every is it 4 years or 2 years? I think it's 4 years, right? Every 4 years?
It's every 4. It's hard to tell. The last one
because of COVID,
was the pandemic messed everything up.
So regardless,
I have no idea what timing is anymore.
Yeah, it's not every year.
It's every 4 years.
Correct. So it's 1 month every few years, let's just say. And so you know what? If a game goes 5 hours, so be it. So be it. To me, that's understandable. It's like the playoffs. I'm like, for me, if the playoff game is going 5 hours and it's a great game, like last year when the Mariners wild card game that just was insane.
That was
went on forever.
Such a crazy game.
That's fun baseball. Stressful if you're a Mariners fan, but fun baseball to watch. And so I'm okay with them sticking with it being traditional. It's not. I like that Major League Baseball is moving forward, keeping the game going quick. World Baseball Classic, this is a treat for us to get to watch over the next month. Keep it the classic baseball form.
A treat.
A treat. A World Baseball Classic treat.
We love a little treat.
Oh, yeah.
All right, some notes around the Rockies. the Rockies have had some absolute barrels this spring training. So Ryan McMahon had a single on Wednesday that had an exit velo of 117.7 miles per hour. And that is the hardest hit baseball so far during spring training.
In Colorado, we like to call that a frozen rope this time of year. That was
Yeah.
an absolute frozen rope. Just crushing it.
Just crushing it. Zach Veen, too, has hit some barrels. He had a 115.3 mile per hour double on Saturday. And that's the second hardest hit baseball of 2023. Zach Veen is going to make it really hard to not put him
Yeah.
on that opening day roster. He's
yeah.
really pushing for it.
He's fighting for it.
Yeah.
And with those stolen bases too, I mean, you're seeing a guy out there that knows he has to earn it. I think a lot of times in pro sports in general, you see players coming in who have had some success in the minor leagues or in, training leagues. And then they get to the pros and they kind of think, all right, you know what? Like I'm almost there. I'm just going to kind of rely on my just God-given ability. Zach Veen is not doing that. He is going out there doing everything he can to earn his spot on this Rockies roster. And I love seeing a guy who goes out and knows he has to fight for it. And that's part of one of those silver linings I was talking about with injuries and saying, you know what, it sucks to lose big guys in your lineup. But when it's this early in the season, the silver lining is you've got young guys that now are in a position where they got to fight for it. Mm-hmm. And so you put them in a spot where they've got to earn it. And someone usually does step up. Right now, Zach Veen is the guy stepping up.
Yeah, a lot of these young guys have been so exciting to watch, especially Saturday. We don't see a lot of stolen bases with the Colorado Rockies.
No.
So seeing so many in one game, it was really exciting.
I would love to see the statistics on how, and I'm sure Patrick has this in his back pocket like it's nothing, but I'd love to see the statistics on how stolen bases, the number of stolen bases each year has evolved as baseball has gone on. Were there more stolen bases in the past versus now? Because I do just feel like, you get to higher levels of sports and the game changes. You see it a lot in basketball too. The level between college basketball versus the NBA is vastly different. And that's true in Major League Baseball as well. College baseball is very different than pro baseball. And so I'm just curious if that's a factor that's changed over time. And is he someone who's kind of, keeping small ball in Major League Baseball? Is he going to be one of those guys that's a threat on the base paths? I think that's going to be him this year.
I can't wait to see I've not seen Patrick in like almost 3 weeks at this point.
Right.
But I haven't seen him in person. Obviously,
yes.
we still do our show. But he's probably got a spreadsheet for exactly that.
I'm sure it's got like a bar graph, that's like showing you how it's progressed over the years, all the good stuff.
He would. And you know what I would do if I needed tickets to a game? I would use the hottest ticketing site, aka Game Time. They make it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, shows, and more. If you've ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought you could, like the 50-yard line, courtside, behind home plate, floor seats at Taylor Swift, listen, it's all possible with the Game Time app. You can find the biggest last-minute price drops on those seats you never thought you could afford. And like if you're attending a Rockies game, usually they're pretty well attended. We know that the Rockies bring in fans, but if you wait closer to first pitch, you can save up to 60% off those tickets with Game Time. I use Game Time all the time. I'm sure you have used it. Are you a Game Time guy?
Yes. We've gotten, I think, a handful of our tickets recently on Game Time.
That's good.
Yeah. Very good.
They're good
Cheap.
deals. They're cheap. And what did Vogt say about it? He was like, oh, it's like a dating app. It's like, I need to get rid of these tickets. You need tickets.
Yeah.
Let's get us together.
Yeah, it's like a deal. Making a deal.
Making a deal.
Yeah, I like it.
The bottom line, if you love DNVR, you're going to love Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. Join more than 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats to all of your favorite events. And hit that link in our description to save money and to, give us a little credit for hooking you up with the deals.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Floor seats for Swifty, huh?
I'm trying.
Yeah. That might break the bank a little bit, game time or not.
listen, game time can only do so much
Yeah,
right
right.
now. We're also not close to the first pitch of the Taylor Swift concert.
Yes.
So tickets are still kind of high, but I'm literally looking at that app every single day.
Right.
For
You're
them
like,
to go down.
wait for it to be less than $2,000. We're in.
James, you get it. Floor seats for a Swiftie. That's me.
Yes.
I did get I got Buddy to like acknowledge Taylor Swift.
Really?
Because like he will like before we really start asking him questions, he'll like talk about music. He might quiz you about music. He asked me a question about something that he had talked about the other day, and I was like I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, if it's not Taylor Swift, I kind of don't care. And he was like, oh, a Swiftie. Like, yes.
You were like, would you expect anything else?
And he was like, she's very talented. I was like, thank you for saying that. I wish this was like on the record right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm bummed you didn't get that. That would have been good. I'd love to see Bud Black, talking Swift with you.
I know. It was very brief. It was very brief.
That's funny. I like a manager that can have casual conversations like that, though. I've noticed Gabe Kapler, if you've ever watched some of his media availability,
Yes.
like the San Francisco reporters just always ask him the weirdest questions.
Well, because he's a weird dude.
He's a weird dude. He totally is.
So
And
weird.
he has an opinion on anything, So it's like you
Yes.
ask him like, hey man, what do you think about, this diet? And he's like, oh, well, let me bring out all these different, statistics. It's just like, he's a funny guy. So
He's a funny guy. You know what I bet he has an opinion on? Breck Brew Avalanche
he would.
Ale. This classic American amber blends pale chocolate and caramel malts in a well-rounded, flavorful beer. Caramel malts lend whispers of toffee sweetness with a touch of bittering hops to give this beer a clean finish. It's crafted for balance. Avalanche is a versatile and satisfying anytime beer. How does that sound?
that sounds great. I'm bummed we don't have the big old box of it right in front of us like normal. It's my favorite beer.
The funniest thing about the box of Avalanche Ale that we've had on this set is that like someone took one beer out, then someone so I'm assuming that the beer is just gone.
Might have
It has
been
been
me,
consumed.
but yeah, at some point. It is a good beer. It's a really good beer.
I don't know what you guys did last week while I was gone.
Right.
So.
Patrick and I were just, we had one next to us. It's okay. It's how it is.
At 11 o'clock.
At 11 in the morning, yes.
But listen, what's different about Breck Brew compared to other beers is made with 100% renewable energy, and it's made entirely with Colorado ingredients by a Colorado company, and it's the official beer of DNVR, as you all know. So check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you. And you know where you can find some weed near you? At
Where?
your house.
Oh.
Because that is what Jive Hive does.
Nice.
They are a revolutionary dispensary, making it so easy for you to explore the benefits of cannabis with the privacy and security, all from the comfort of your own home. You're not fighting traffic. You're not running into people that you don't want to see. You're not waiting in line. You have no one up in your business. It's just Jive Hive bringing you all of the best stuff for even a better deal than you might find at the dispensary because they're not paying for an expensive brick and mortar. Real estate's really expensive in Colorado. They don't have to worry about that because they are totally on wheels. Think like Amazon, but for weed.
Nice. I mean, and also, they've got a really cool name.
Jive Hive.
Jive Hive.
Jive Hive.
Easy to say.
So yeah, visit jivehive.com for anything you can imagine. Convenience, great pricing, privacy, security. You don't have to worry about driving in the snow because, like, it's, we're still going to get some snow between now and June.
Yeah, this fake spring won't last forever.
It's a nice fake spring today, but we know it won't last. But yeah, visit jivehive.com. That's JIVEHYVE.com and get your order delivered the same day or schedule a delivery window, and they will be there to say hi. Get it?
I got it.
Now
That's good.
serving
That's good.
Monument, Falcon, Peyton, Fountain, Woodland Park, Security, Widefield, Aurora, and Greenwood Village. That's Jive Hive, JIVEHYVE.com. Last time you were on the show with me, we talked about how you didn't know what a Tamagotchi was.
Yes. I learned.
You learned. And we were talking about this because Brian Servin was posting some content on social media. He was taking care of a Tamagotchi.
How's he doing?
So I found out why this was even happening in the first place. So the Tamagotchi's not around anymore.
Oh, no.
I know. Tamagotchis
a
also
little sad.
don't die anymore. Like when I was a kid, Alyssa, you probably remember this because you remember Tamagotchis. They died. Like, if you didn't take care of it, they died.
Oh, one day, and they were gone.
Yeah.
If you didn't feed it or pick up its poop.
What happened when it died? Like, did it just turn off, or like was there like a sad like little X over it? Like, what happened?
Yeah, they had like little X's over their eyes.
Oh,
because they
no.
were dead.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That
it was
seems
like
traumatizing.
they don't die anymore though. They fly away on a spaceship.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's realistic.
And I know this because Brian Servin updated me. So the Rockies gave him a Tamagotchi. I guess just to see what would happen if Brian Servin was taking care of a Tamagotchi.
Obviously not well.
So here's the thing. So he was taking care of it for a few days and like doing a great job. And he gave it to, this is what he told me. He said he gave it to a Rockies employee to watch for the day because he had a busy day.
Yeah, babysit.
And they didn't take care of the Tamagotchi,
no.
and so he flew away.
Oh no!
Because they don't die anymore. Because I guess that's too offensive.
So he's like on a spaceship in the world. Oh my goodness!
Did he know what a Tamagotchi was?
Did I?
No, did
Oh,
Servant.
did
I think
he?
he did.
Okay.
I think he did.
Ooh, yeah. I see. I'm sure I would have the same issues, but man, that's tough.
I know. Well, it's tough because it sounds like, from what he says, it sounds like it wasn't his fault.
It's like an Elton John song, just flying away in a spaceship. His little Tamagotchi's gone.
That's what the song Rocket Man is
Right?
about. It's about Tamagotchis.
Right. Yeah, that's really why Elton John wrote Rocket Man. Oh my gosh. That poor employee too. Just like, oh man, I messed up. Your Tamagotchi flew away, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
It's pretty sad because
That is.
I would have loved to have seen Brian Servin taking care of a Tamagotchi for like all of spring training. I love stupid bullshit.
How
so-
long do they live for? Like forever?
Like a long time. I think with the original Tamagotchis, you would have the Tamagotchi and then it would have a baby. So you would go through like generations.
Oh, okay. So
that's you remember this, right?
I remember them, but I don't remember the details. I remember them dying, but I didn't know if it restarted or, like you said, they had babies. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Tamagotchis were big in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then like they kind of came back in like 2005.
Okay.
And like for fun, for shits and giggles, I forgot. I'm like, oh, we can curse on this show because I'm not on TV anymore.
Yes.
My friends and I like got Tamagotchis to be like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like these are back. But like when you're like, 17 as opposed to 7, like you're so much better at taking care of a Tamagotchi. It's like, I could be a teen mom.
You get distracted very easily when you're a child. It's a little kid, running around on your screen. Just hope that it doesn't fly away in its spaceship.
It's a much better Tamagotchi mom at 17 than 7, I'll tell you that. But yeah, like you would go through like so many generations. So like we were like, okay,
So does this mean that does this mean that I need to get a Tamagotchi and like see if I can do a better job than Brian Servin at raising?
If you and Marissa are thinking about kids one day down the road, I think this is great practice for you guys.
Okay. That's fair.
All right.
Maybe that's all we need.
Tyler, can we expense a Tamagotchi for Christian?
Yeah. It's all part of the show. Don't worry.
This is for content.
Yes.
Very
we need
important.
it. It's very important.
Okay, speaking of delightful things, so Sean Bouchard had a great end of last season. He is fighting for a spot this season. He and Cole Tucker, one of our new infielders on a minor league deal, they have become such great friends so quickly, and it's really adorable. They're like attached at the hip.
Yeah, that's that's always good to see when guys are getting along like that. You see it a lot in like bullpens. All the young relief pitchers that wear the little princess backpacks and they're just inseparable. You see it a lot with like pitchers and catchers. You've got your catcher and you become really good friends. But it's cool to see it from some young guys in spring training. Really hitting it off with each other and all hanging out, and that does play a big factor. And when the season comes along and you got to come together through some tough times, having some guys that are really good and close friends can help with that for sure.
I love that. Yeah, and also like my favorite thing about spring training. Well, first of all, my actual favorite thing is that no one does the wave at spring training games.
Oh,
but
you're an anti-wave?
This podcast is anti-wave.
Oh no.
I'm surprised that you, as a former pitcher, is not anti-wave.
I
guess you're not anti-wave.
I guess I'm not pro-wave. I'm just not anti-wave. Am I the person that starts the waves? No. Am I the person that sits down when a wave is coming through? No. I just participate. I don't mind. It doesn't bug me.
I guess once the wave is already going, what are you going to do? What is one person not doing the wave going to do?
I also have never been pitching when a wave has been happening. And I do think it would be a little like, that's a little annoying. Like, what's all this cheering going? It'd be a little weird. So I can't speak from experience, but, that would probably change things.
Your fellow Taurus and your fellow pitcher, Kyle Freeland, is not a fan of the wave.
I'm sure.
He said it on the record.
I'm sure. And the Rockies the Coors Field has a lot of waves.
I know, because a lot of clowns are there who aren't even paying attention to the game.
Yeah. I mean, when your team isn't doing well, you're not in the playoff, contention. You're just kind of showing up to games because it's a great time, which it is. Coors Field is an amazing experience, whether they're winning or losing. You get a lot of non-baseball fans there that are just like, let's do the wave. I'm bored.
All right, I have to steer the ship back to where I was going.
Yes, please do. Sorry.
So we're talking about Sean Bouchard. He is having a delightful time at spring training. That's one of the best things about spring training is that it is just it's much lower pressure. Everyone's having a really good time. Sean Bouchard is having a good time while also fighting for, a regular spot with the Rockies. But do we have that? Yeah. We have that audio? All right, here's what Sean Bouchard has to say. You had such a great end to last season. What did you do in the offseason to build on that?
A lot of the same. No, just kidding. I don't know. I really try to take the lessons that I learned from some of the older guys and the coaches and everyone around and try to just really make a solidified kind of game plan coming into this year. Kind of come up through the minors. I had a lot of different ways of preparing for games, and you have to adjust, depending on a lot of things. But I think kind of creating like a really good routine for every game was really important for me, and I think just kind of solidifying that, kind of coming into spring training and messing around with a couple different things has been really good for me.
What are you messing around with?
Just the timing of when to get moving, when to start watching video, when to start doing things. You can get pretty inundated with a lot of information nowadays, and I think just trying to fine-tune exactly what you need, what you're looking for, is really kind of the most important thing for me right now.
How are you feeling about seeing the pitch clock implemented in these Major League Spring Training games? Because you've seen it before.
I have, and I feel like I might have a little bit of an advantage, just, again, from having that in AAA last year. It is kind of funny seeing how sped up some guys can get. I mean, it happens to me as well. But again, it's been nice to see some of the games go by a lot quicker. But I do know there's been some interesting moments that guys have talked through about, what if this situation happens or this situation happens. It makes it difficult, but at the same time, I've been there and some guys have asked me, what was it like when this happened? But other than that, it's been interesting, and like I said, I think it'll be a good thing at the end of the day.
I've been asking everyone this. Okay. Do you think the pitch clock will benefit pitchers more or batters more?
I think it'll benefit the smarter guy more. Smarter people, sorry. It just kind of depends on how creative you want to get with it. For me personally, I like it. It doesn't give me time to step out and really overthink, what pitch is he going to throw, what pitch should he just throw, that whole cat and mouse game. But you've seen some guys here and there that'll, they'll hold the ball all the way until the, 1 second. Base runners can get really creative with it. So like I said, I think like anything in life, the smart people kind of figure out how to take advantage of it. But I think to answer your question, I guess it could be equally either one of them.
All right. So cool. Hey, thank you for chatting. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
My gosh, the smarter guy. The smarter person,
yeah.
The smarter person.
That's a good answer. I do think it leaves a lot. We're starting to see that it's a lot more complicated, I think, or it could be more complicated than we thought it would be. And it's not all bad. I think there could be a strategy to it where, you can see pitchers. We're seeing Max Scherzer, for example, waiting till the last second to start his windup, standing on the mound. And of course, if there was anyone that was going to do that, it would be him.
Of course, like Max Scherzer would.
He totally would, and he did. But I think we are going to start to see that where guys who rely on mixed timings and base runners. I know James in the comments was mentioning that about how that's going to be impacting stealing. This pitch clock helping stealing. That I think we're going to start to see that too. Guys starting to say, hey, every when it gets to 5 seconds, the pitcher really starts like going into his windup. I'm I'm gonna kind of use that. And
you only get so many pickoffs now too. So
Yeah.
really, this is going to be I feel like the Rockies could be the Wild West of base stealing.
It could be.
Really have Zach being in the mix too.
And I think you're going to start seeing that become trained. I mean, you have to remember, these are guys that study this for a living. I mean, this is their job. They make millions of dollars to watch film and to learn all the little technical sides of this game. And so there's going to be guys spending hours figuring out, how am I going to be able to make this work to my advantage? You know, this is my business. How can I find a way to improve my business in little ways through this? And so I think it's going to be fun to see the dynamics between how this works for pitchers and hitters. But it is going to change a lot. And I think we'll see how that kind of plays out this season.
Yeah. We also talked to Cole Tucker about this, who has spent, some time in the minors in the past couple of years. But yeah, we have that too, right? Yep. All right, let's hear from Cole Tucker. How are you enjoying your time with the Rockies so far?
Enjoying every day. So far, it's been great. I've never signed anywhere as a free agent before, so this is a lot of newness to me, but it's been great. There's a lot of good people in here, a lot of good coaches on the staff, and it's a good place to play baseball, and it's a top-notch organization, so it's good to be here, and I've been having fun so far. It's nice to be in Arizona too. This is home for me. So AZ Spring, this has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it seems like you and Sean Bouchard are besties now.
That's the talk of the camp. We got down here in January, and we were working out early and just kind of hit it off. He and I came out of high school the same year. He went to college, but I signed, and always knew the name, didn't know the person, and then when we met, we just really connected, and he's a great player and a good dude, and it's been fun to get to know him so far.
You love to see it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yes. So what are you working on this spring training? What are your priorities?
Man, just playing well every day, just trying to take it a day at a time, and in the past, the last couple of years especially for me, have been tough on the field, and I'm just trying to get back to remind myself that this is a game and that it's fun, and just trying to do everything, just do the little things every day to try to make sure I have a good day, just trying to hit through the baseball, take care of my body, take care of the baseball, just all the little things that make you a good player, just trying to really be fine about the details, and just having fun every day.
Yeah. Do you see this new organization as kind of a reset for you?
Yeah, totally. I mean, every day we show up, it feels like you have a chance to succeed and a chance to do well. Buddy told me they're looking for players. I'm just trying to go out and play well, just to throw my name out there, and hope I get a shot.
Yeah, definitely. I've been asking everyone this. Do you think the pitch clock will benefit pitchers more, or will it benefit batters more?
I think that it benefits the hitter more, because the pitchers get up there and spin, and there's so much of routine and getting set and doing all their moves and doing everything. I think the hitter, if you just stay in that box and feel comfortable and cozy in there, like the at-bat's yours, and the pitcher has to stay on your pace. So I think it benefits the hitter more.
Is that you? Are you a batter who is comfortable and cozy in that box?
Yeah, I mean, I was in AAA a little bit last year, so I know the speed and the pace of the game. So like Sean was saying, I feel like there's a little bit of an advantage there.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Anytime, yeah.
So good to hear from a new guy.
Yeah.
So good to hear.
And a guy who's so positive, I mean, he seems like he's just so excited to be there and taking it one step at a time. And that's a good mindset to have when you're, starting to make something of yourself. So yeah, just keep having fun. And I'm hoping to see him, if he's doing well, hoping to see him in a Rockies uniform.
I know. Yeah. He's got such a great attitude, such a great mindset. I was like, wow, this is a very positive dude.
Yeah. And that's all you can do at that point. I mean, there's guys who, really kind of focus up and they got to be serious about everything. And yeah, it's just like very, very serious. We're playing baseball here. It's a serious sport. But I do think there is value, especially when you're younger, and just going out there and remembering why you started playing in the first place. Have fun. It's a game. Focus on your stuff. Don't, it's not saying you sacrifice being serious about being a good player, but, beyond that, just have fun. It's a beautiful game.
It is a beautiful game. That's a great note to close this show on. Well, also the Broncos guys are already in here, and they would probably like to start their show at 12.
They would. We've got a pitch clock on our end as well.
We have a pitch clock, and we're going to Max Scherzer it and just go to the very last second.
Yep. Last minute. Start the wind up, Susie.
But yeah, head to the DNVR.com and go to our events page and get some tickets for the Rockies takeover we have going on April 29th. It's a game where the Rockies are playing the D-backs. We've got lower level seating. You get a free DNVR t-shirt. We've got special shirts for it. You're going to get, I think it's a $10 or a $15 concession credit. So you're getting food money.
Getting a lot, yeah.
You're getting so much out of it. And plus you get a ride from here, the bar, to the game and back. And we know parking gets crazy at Coors Field. So it's kind of a steal. It's kind of so much fun. I kind of don't even want to work that day. I want to just like do the takeover. So we'll see. I'll talk to Patrick about
Undercover, yeah, as a fan.
I just want to be a fan for that day because it looks like a lot of fun. You'll be there, right?
I will, of course.
You
would not miss it.
Better
for the world. Yeah.
Christian, where can we follow you on social media?
Twitter at CJJ Sias is where you can find me.
How about not Twitter, because Twitter might not exist after the show.
Twitter might not exist. Instagram, I'm Instagram CJ_photos_studio.
Because he takes photos.
I do take photos. Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll bring my camera to the opening day. It'll be there.
Heck yes. All right, you can follow all the latest Rockies updates at DNVR_Rockies on Twitter, or follow us on Instagram at DNVR_sports. You can follow me at the Susie Hunter on all platforms that still exist. And Christian, you know what they say about me closing out a show?
Still haven't learned yet, Susie.
Still haven't figured it out, but we are going to figure it out all over again tomorrow. Patrick will be back at 11 a.m. See you then.